Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us this Monday. I'm Jeanelle Slade.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. A somber day for law enforcement across Montana.
A procession of law enforcement carried the body of a Gallatin County Sheriff's deputy to the Billings Crime Lab today after a fatal car accident over the weekend.
Deputy Jake Allmendinger was killed while responding to a stranded motorist Saturday night in the Bridger Mountains. Icy
roads caused his vehicle to slide backward. For some reason, he tried to get out the driver's door, but got caught under the vehicle. The weather so bad, even 4 helicopter teams that tried to rescue the deputy were forced to turn around.
The Gallatin County Sheriff's Office says there is an ongoing investigation and there were no violations of protocol or policy. Search and rescue eventually picked up the stranded motorist. He was not injured.
Billings Police Chief Rich St. John says losing a fellow officer is the worst case scenario.
The chief stood by with other officers and other residents who also turned out to show their respect as that procession arrived in Billings today. Q2 Zoe Zandora was there.
Can't imagine. It'd be like family. And it is to us too, because they're there for us.
A day of solidarity as law enforcement from across Montana joined the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office in escorting Deputy Jake Allmendinger, who died in the line of duty on Saturday, to the State Medical Examiner's office in Billings.
We seen the fire trucks pull up, and we just wanted to see what that was all about. And when we heard it was to honor a slain officer, we thought we'd wait, and we didn't know that there would be that many vehicles, and it was just a sad occasion.
Allmendinger died Saturday night while responding to a stranded motorist report on Ferry Lake Road in the Bridger Mountain Range. And on Monday, officers from multiple agencies formed a procession from the Bozeman area to take Allmendinger to Billings.
We are free because of what the first responders and the military take care of. So anybody that is in that line of work, they're putting their life on the line a lot. And we don't know what all that they go through.
Silence and salutes as the sirens made their way down the streets, remembering the fallen officer. Locals lining the sidewalks to join in the salute, paying homage to Allmendinger.
I have the utmost respect for everybody that's in that line of work.
And as Allmendinger was there for Gallatin County, the community is there for him. In Billings, Zoe Zandora, MTN News.
Thanks. So, Deputy Allmendinger was 31 years old and is survived by his parents, wife, and 3 children.
Many involved in today's procession, from highway patrol troopers to deputies and the sheriff, arrived back in Bozeman this afternoon.
Now, the moments afterward were filled with silence, but as MTN's Cody Boyer reports, that silence spoke volumes.
MHP troopers, Bozeman City Police, sheriff's departments from across the state all formed their procession and filed in here into the parking lot of Dahl Funeral and Cremation Services, along with Deputy Jake Allmendinger. Now, while the moments here were silent, they spoke volumes.
Present, halt!
Taken in the line of duty, troopers, deputies, Bozeman City Police, chaplains and sheriffs, both from Gallatin County and Lewis and Clark County, first took Deputy Jake Allmendinger to Billings early this morning. The line started with over a dozen cars, a line that only grew by the time they brought him back home. Within hours after what happened Saturday night, posts filled several different updates by the hundreds. Many say it is a pain that reaches beyond the Gallatin Valley, remembering the 31-year-old father of 3. Posts from as far as North Carolina, law enforcement in North Dakota, even Maui, Hawaii. Others praised his 2 years as a deputy, with dozens sharing prayers and condolences. But those who knew him most point back to his 9 years as a dispatcher for Gallatin County 911, remembering the man behind the phone.
Helping those people out, doing anything that you can to get them help and, talking to them on the phone.
Members of Gallatin County Search and Rescue, which Allmendinger committed 8 years of his life volunteering for, were also here. Finally, under an American flag, Deputy Allmendinger was brought to the last stop. All the while, his colleagues and family say the same thing. He died doing what he loved, helping people with a calm voice.
Just keep calm and just keep reassuring them that, you have help on the way and that it'll all turn out.
In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Ramming 3 officers with a truck is now out of the hospital and facing 4 felony charges. 30-year-old William Melcher of Billings is charged with 2 counts of assault with a weapon, 1 count of criminal endangerment, and 1 count of criminal mischief. Melcher had been in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries since that October 9th incident. Officers cornered Melcher in the parking lot of the Holiday gas station on North 27th Street after he was spotted driving a stolen truck. That's when police say Melcher rammed into the patrol cars multiple times, forcing officers to open fire. 1 officer suffered minor injuries. In charging documents, prosecutors said that Melcher had used meth before he was approached by police. Melcher faces up to 50 years in prison. Bail was set at $100,000.
He escaped from Jefferson County Jail, stole a number of vehicles, and led Montana law enforcement on a 7-day manhunt. And now we know how he did it. Tony Gee allegedly crawled through the ceiling. Court documents say Gee escaped a hole in the ceiling of his cell, crawled through the attic space of the Jefferson County Jail, and broke through the ceiling in the janitor's closet to make that escape. He was caught Friday night after a foot pursuit in Lake County.
An unappetizing video has been making the rounds on social media that shows dozens of small insects crawling under a table at the food court at Rimrock Mall. That video showing the bugs was posted Sunday afternoon. It's already been viewed nearly 100,000 times. Those bugs were found on a table in the food court common area. Since then, the county health department with Riverstone Health has received 2 formal complaints about the insects. Mall marketing director Darren Olson said in a statement that the mall conducts monthly exterminations in the common areas. And we checked with the city restaurant inspection reports for the eateries in the food court, and we found no violations related to insects in 2019. Later this week, the health department will meet with the mall and restaurant owners to assess the problem.
Get all the players at the table and first identify if there's actually a issue going on. And then if there is, we'll come up with a plan, come up with a comprehensive solution which involves us, probably pest management and management at the mall, and other players if necessary.
Well, the health department hasn't been to the mall to see the problem yet. Snyder said the department will go there to investigate as soon as possible.
Bob McGuire back on the desk with us tonight, and on the weather scene you actually have some more information on that devastating storm.
Oh, it was a wild night in Texas and Oklahoma, yeah, and all parts of Arkansas too. Let me show you what it looked like. This is what happened. It was a line of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. A tornado seen only sometimes just by the lightning in the background, but this is what was left today. As you can see, the debris was piling up all over the place. This was really bad in parts of North Dallas. This is in Richardson. Also had reports of 2 people dead over in Oklahoma and in Arkansas due to falling trees and trees falling through living rooms and things like that. That's just how bad it was. It was a mess down in Texas. Now those storms continue tonight to move on in towards the rest of the Appalachian Mountains and also up towards the Midwest, where we still have reports of flooding across much of the Mississippi River tonight because of all the heavy rain in that area. Our forecast is starting to get a little wet as well. We'll chat about that coming up.
All right, thanks, Bob. Well, tonight, an explosive fire is threatening multi-million-dollar homes in the hills of Los Angeles. Now, many who live in the Pacific Palisades enjoy sweeping ocean views, but tonight they're getting an unsettling sight of fast-moving flames racing through one of the city's most affluent canyons. The wind-whipped fire is chewing through dry brush on rugged hillsides, making it very difficult to contain. Now, tonight, more than 200 people scrambled to flee those raging flames. Water drops from the sky are the last-minute savior to a number of homes, but the danger isn't done. Strong winds are expected later this week.
President Trump remains defiant in the face of an impeachment inquiry. As Katherine Johnson reports, the president says he's done nothing wrong and called on his allies to help defend him.
President Trump wants Republicans to do more to stand up for him.
The Republicans have to get tougher and fight. We have some that are great fighters, but they have to get tougher and fight.
The president says he needs total support from the grand old party against an impeachment inquiry in the Democratic-held House.
I think they're lousy politicians, but 2 things they have. They're vicious, and they stick together. They don't have Mitt Romney in their midst.
Mr. Trump lashed out at Senator Romney after the Utah Republican said he was open to the idea of impeaching the president.
They don't want the facts to come out.
During an interview with Fox News, President Trump condemned the investigation.
It's a disgrace what's going on. In the meantime, we're doing a great job running the country, and that's what I'm focused on, running the country. It's a very unfair situation.
Late Monday, House Democrats blocked a Republican-led effort to censure Congressman Adam Schiff, a leader in the impeachment inquiry against the president. A vote to table the measure passed along strict party lines. Schiff later tweeted that the GOP lacked the courage to confront the most dangerous and unethical president in American history.
I'm not supporting impeachment. I didn't see anything Trump's done wrong.
The president's supporters say they intend to stand by him. Katherine Johnson, CBS News, the White House.
American diplomat Bill Taylor, who came out of retirement to run the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine, is set to testify in Capitol Hill tomorrow. Of the alleged quid pro quo, Taylor texted, "It was crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign."
Despite a scandal-ridden past few months, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will keep his post.
Votes are still being tallied, so it's unsure whether he'll govern with a majority or minority government. Trudeau ran against Conservative Andrew Scheer on the platform of climate change and social services.
He now says his first action will be tax cuts for the middle class. Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, we'll put our eyes to the sky for a rare moment that can sometimes only be seen in Montana.
Plus, some businesses saying no way to bear spray. Find out why.
And tonight in sports, will injured Grizz quarterback Dalton Snead miss Saturday's game? Scott hears from Bobby Houck.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.